welcome back.
Welcome back.
We have another guest today on our podcast, but the first thing we want to do is kind of just check in, see how y'all are doing. We haven't received any emails yet, but Danielle, how was your week?
My week was enlightening. It was good. I feel like I've just been happiest I've ever been still, even though I feel like when I get like this, I never think there could be any more happiness, but then I feel it again, and it's just so nice.
Yeah.
My heart's really happy. I just feel surrounded by love, and I think that's coming from myself too. So I'm
That's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm excited for you. Yeah, I feel like it's been a good week of that, a lot of self-love and growth. So, yeah, actually, it's a good segue too, right? Because our guest today is the infamous Stacey Scott. So she's our spiritual guru. We've talked about her in a few episodes, and she'll be on a million of these. But today we have her to talk about kind of just that, kind of self-love and healing through the Ascension journey.
Yeah.
So welcome, Stacey.
Hi, guys.
We're so happy to have you here. I think a lot of where me and Daniela are is probably thanks to you for just going through it first alone and then teaching us a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we're happy that you're here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
So, all right. So Danielle, I think you wanted Stacey to talk to everyone kind of about, was it self-love and wellness and how to...
Yeah. So for me, I know that I've been going through a lot of the physical body pain, and I know that Stacey has been through and is probably currently going through a lot of that too. She's given me tips before about how to deal with that, or how to just continue to live a healthy lifestyle, even going through all this. That can kind of be the theme, is how to be healthy with Ascension.
Yeah, so maybe Stacey's just start with the process, right? Because I think it gets down to the physical body, but there's other aspects, so.
And also feel free to introduce yourself first.
Yeah.
This is your first time here, so why not?
I am a psychic medium, and I specialize in Egyptian and cosmic shamanism, which is focusing on the shadow aspects of the soul. And then the cosmic part is about planetary alignment, ascended masters, archangels, different gods and goddesses, planetary alignment.
Mm-hmm.
So combining all, bringing heaven into earth, body, mind, and soul.
Yeah, and I mean, so, we kind of initially started the podcast talking about Ascension and Awakening, so you're kind of here on Earth to help people through that journey, is that right?
Right. So I know you wanted me to talk about Ascension symptoms and working through that the best way, the easiest way, because Ascension can be very painful physically. We can work through, different aspects, clearing the mind body and the emotional body, but the physical body is the first to always take on that trauma, and it's the last to let it go. So even though you're working with the mental body and the emotional body on how to clear a trauma, it still gets stored in the physical body. It can get stored in the bones, the blood, the organs, the tissues, DNA, etc. So even though you feel like you're clearing all of these things, the physical body still needs to let go. So in your mental state, you could be like, oh, I already worked through that, and that shouldn't be coming up. But the physical body manifests it still inside. So it is very painful releasing. Some people get flu symptoms. Some people get viruses. Some people can break a bone. Some people, get different infections. Headaches are a big one. Anything. The body has to purge the way it needs to purge. And the best thing to do is allow it to purge. stay out of resistance, because how many times like do you yourself or hear anybody, and as soon as you get sick or something happens, it's the end of the world. You're the biggest victim. Nobody likes being sick. Why is this happening to me right now? I can't take a day off of work. I don't have time for this in my life. And it's like Spirit's showing you, your higher self is showing you, like, we're helping you move through this. You need downtime. You have to learn how to care and nurture yourself just like you would for a child, for a newborn. But people don't know how to take time out for themselves. They don't know how to be still. They don't know how to just rest and be down. They don't know how to be in tune with their body and listen to what it's trying to tell them. So I know the best way for me, how I deal with it, is I figure out like what body part, where is the sickness coming from? And then it's like, all right, what is this trying to tell me? And it's like, okay, you know what? If I have to be home from work today to take care of myself so this can shift even faster in an easier process, then that's what I'm going to do. I use acupuncture. I use massage. I'll get energy work done. I journal. I meditate. You have to eat really clean. When the body is trying to purge itself, you don't want to eat fried food, greasy food, heavy food. You want to eat, as clean as you can, because you want to flush out your system. So teas, water, lemon water is good. Salads, fruits, veggies, stuff like that. If you're gonna eat meat, you really should stick with like organic meats, grass-fed meats, and stuff like that, because it's easier for your body to process. And the most part, it's like you have to retrain your ego to stop thinking you're the victim because you're sick, or because you have to be down for a few days, and just be in gratitude in that moment, because it's like, okay, my soul is working with my body, and universe is helping to guide me to help shift out these toxins in my body, to help shift out these diseases. And then in that moment, it's like you have to find gratitude in the pain. Always be grateful. There's always a gift, no matter what type of pain you're going through. And you have to keep yourself out of that victim mode. Oh, poor me, I have a stuffy nose. Well, guess what? You can get up and you can take some medicine, or, steam your face. You can reach for that tissue, Some people can't.
Yeah.
So always find gratitude and a gift within that pain, because it's like, yeah, I may be sick and I feel awful right now, but it's going to pass, And the more you allow yourself to heal, the more time you give yourself to just rest and be like, you know what, I need to sit with me right now, and I need to take care of me and give myself some self-love, some self-care, nurturing, and because why aren't you worth that? Aren't you deserving of healing?
Right.
If you're going to sit there and victimize yourself, then you're being in a state where I'm not worth going through the healing process. Now I'm going to hold myself up. In the meantime, I want it out as soon as possible. So it's like, do I sit and rest and allow myself, because I am worthy of healing all of these pains and toxins out of my body? Or do I want to just keep repeating it, holding on to it, and slamming my head against the wall, getting nowhere quick?
Right.
So if you don't end up doing those things, the sickness is just going to come back?
They're going to keep repeating themselves because you're holding on to them.
Yeah.
You're not allowing the cycle to just flow, And for a woman, when they're releasing, and I mean, I'm one of them who had a really bad menstrual cycle. So I know how uncomfortable it is, and the bloating and, the pains, and we don't need to get into more of the graphic part. But it's like, when you go through that cycle, the body's completely detoxing and cleansing itself naturally every single month. And it's like, yeah, these cramps are bad, but you know what? Let me take something, or put some Arnica rub on my stomach, use a heating pad, like drink some hot tea to soothe the cramps. And again, it's only a few days and then it's going to pass. It's not going to be every single day for the rest of the year. And some women, they can't get a menstrual cycle anymore, whether they had to go through a surgery or, some women only get it a couple times a year. And there's that restriction in the flow. So those of you out there who can naturally get one every month, just know that, yeah, this is uncomfortable right now, but everything's uncomfortable when you're trying to move through it. You have to be comfortable being uncomfortable in order to grow and evolve. Right. Your body's trying to change. It's trying to grow and evolve with you. It doesn't know how, because it only knows how to live one way. So if you're 30 years old, your body only knows, and your mind only knows how to live one way with all of these traumas that have led up. For 30 years you've been accumulating.
Yeah.
So coming in with karmic patterns and then adding to them, maybe you fell and you got hurt and you have scar tissue. Maybe you've had trauma. Maybe you were abused. Maybe, it was just whatever. It doesn't matter. Your body only knows how to react in pain, to hold on to pain. Doesn't know how to let go of pain.
Is that because it doesn't actually know what's going on?
It's because your ego feeds it. Mm-hmm. So your body can naturally cure itself. Your body can naturally heal itself. The ego tells you can't. Right. There's that separation. So the mind-body is no longer one. It's separated by the ego that's saying you can't do this.
So the ego could say something like, you're not worthy of healing?
Yes.
Or be in fear or something.
And it's subconsciously, the subconscious mind is, it loves to play tricks. So it's like, consciously, you could be like, I want to get through this. But in your subconscious mind, somewhere down the road, you feel like, for whatever reason in your life, you deserve to be punished.
Mm-hmm. I've had that.
Right. A lot of people have. And it's like these triggers keep playing over and over and over. So it's like, instead of allowing yourself, I'm worthy of being healed, you can say it. You can say it 5 times a day. Do you feel it?
Right.
No. Because if you felt it, you would be allowing it, not resisting it.
Mm-hmm. So how do you end up reversing it and actually feeling it?
You have to retrain your brain. So every time you come up with a negative thought of, catch yourself. I'm in victim mode right now. Mm-hmm. Why am I the victim? I'm not the victim. I'm the survivor. I'm healing right now.
I like that. I'm not the victim. I'm the survivor.
Right.
I'm a survivor.
If you're still alive, you're surviving.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's pinning you down saying you're going to have the flu for the rest of your life.
Oh, God.
Yeah, your body's like, oh, you've been working on this? You want to let it go? Okay. Mentally, you've detached. Emotionally, you've detached. Now let's physically detach. Mm-hmm. But instead, because you've already worked through the mental and the emotional, you're not remembering that it's physically still within you. Right. Manifested. You're just like, I'm already over that. What the hell's happening now? Like, what's going on with me? Why am I feeling like this? And it's like, how many people get diagnosed with fatty, non-alcoholic liver? Why? Why is your liver the same as an alcoholic's if you don't drink?
Oh. That happens?
Yes, because it stores anger. It harbors anger. It harbors resentment. It harbors, all of these toxic buildup of negative emotion. And everybody thinks, oh, well, if I let go of this anger is the one, that feeds me. It's the emotion that feeds me. And it gives me that drive. It gives me that motivation. It tells me something's wrong. Like, I have to be in this anger and it has to control me. Well, now you're codependent on an emotion that's toxic to you.
Right.
And that's what your ego is telling you?
Yeah. And if I let go of this anger towards you, that's going to make me a weak person.
Mm-hmm.
If I let go of the anger towards my own body?
No, towards another person.
Yeah.
People hold grudges.
Yeah.
And they don't know how to let it go. And even if you're just like, you know what, I cut that person off. I'm just not going to talk to them anymore. That, you haven't worked through that. That anger's still in you. And the next person that triggers you, well, now you're adding on to it. Mm-hmm. And so on and so on and so on. And it's like a car drives by and they cut you off. And what's going to happen? That anger spikes. That rage spikes. I know. I had road rage. And I'm like, what? You cutting me off? So it's like you just keep rebuilding in
her old car. She was like, I would have fucked him up. Someone like cut her off the other day. She's like, thank God I wasn't in that old car. She's like, I would have fucked him up. I would have backed right in, because some guy was being like so mean to her.
Well, I'm not going to scratch up my nuka, but he was just being a jerk. But did I hold on to that? No, you let it go. It's like, take a deep breath and let it go, because you are not worth anger. Nobody's worth it. All you're doing is keeping that you're damaging yourself. You're becoming your own worst prisoner. You're self-sabotaging. It's like you can't get out of your own way.
Yeah.
And if I let go of this anger, I'm a weak person. And I can't be vulnerable because I'm a weak person. Instead, it's like you're completely doing the opposite. Right. You have to allow vulnerability is the biggest fear because it's the biggest strength. Mm-hmm. So when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, what you're doing is naturally healing yourself, because you're allowing yourself to just surrender and let go of what you cannot control.
Yeah. And our ego is just trying to control everything.
And people think they're in control. You're not in fucking control. You're not. Yeah. It's like, I can't let go of this because then they're controlling me. No, they're controlling you right the fuck now. Yeah. Let it go, and then you're in control.
That's a good point.
Mm-hmm. It's like they're using you as a puppet. Watch your emotions. They talk to you. Who's it bring it back to? Inner child is the deepest healing. Everything goes to the root. Everything goes to the inner child. And it's like, that happened to me when I was young, so I'm not going to let it happen again. Well, then get your masculine energy in check. Mm-hmm. Stop blaming everybody else. What are you going to do about it?
Right.
I can't manifest. Well, get your divine feminine in check. Stop blaming everybody else around you. Right. Take responsibility. Allow yourself to be vulnerable. Allow yourself to be you. Everybody walks around. How much shit is on Facebook? I'm a real person. I'm the realest person. I'll tell you the truth. You can't even fucking tell yourself the truth. Right. It's like you can't even. Exactly. You're sitting there on social media with how many stories, literally, and you're not living any of them. You're not real. You're on there bashing everybody around you. You're blaming everybody around you. If you were real, you wouldn't give a shit about everybody around you. Mm-hmm. You wouldn't care about everybody else's business and what they're doing to another person.
Yep.
Mind your own business. Mm-hmm. What are you doing?
Exactly.
What are you doing in your life to change things? Because you know what? I watch those people and it's like, I've been doing this work for how many years? And I don't stop working on myself. I don't think I'm above anybody. You will always be the teacher. You will always be the student. You will always be evolving. There's always going to be another level of ascension you have to go up. And it's like, I need to do me. And when I'm seeing these people, they're my catalyst to be a better person every day, because I sure as hell don't want to be like them.
Mm-hmm. But I think it's also, too, to that point, I think it's important on who you surround yourself with. Because I've had issues where it's like, yeah, I sure as hell don't think I'm better than anybody else, but I'm actually putting work into myself. And there's been people that are my friend or whatever that try to suck me dry, and they're not putting in the real genuine work. They think they're putting in work by doing like a meditation or swinging a pendulum or whatever, right? But they're not actually taking responsibility for their own selves and making changes deep in their lives, when I really am. Like, I'm constantly working on myself. I'm constantly evolving. I'm constantly learning from other people. Like, but it's like I've had to set boundaries and be like, I just don't think I can be that teacher for you anymore.
Right.
Is that a thing? Because I just feel like I've had to tell people I can't be their teacher.
People are jealous. And like I said, there's a lot of envy. There's a lot of jealousy. And somebody can be your best friend and say to your face, like, I'm so happy for you. Are they really? Because in the back of their mind, they're probably like, why doesn't this ever fucking happen for me? So they're subconsciously projecting at you. Not even, they probably don't even realize it.
Right.
Most of them do. I've been victim of it. And it's like, you know what, you have to see, I need to have healthy boundaries. So if it's healthiest for me to stay away from that toxic person right now, then that's what I need to do for me. And of course, yeah, you're going to trigger them, and they're going to get pissed off, and they're going to get angry. And know what you can say to them? You're welcome. Because now I just pointed to you what you need to work on.
Right. And
it's up to them to do their own inner work. You can't force anybody,
And that's the thing, too. It's like, in no way or shape or form have I ever had a bad intention by cutting someone off. It's not like I'm holding on to anger towards them or don't like them or whatever. It's not personal like that.
Right.
It's just like
what
I'm
I'm saying
me.
is, but their ego is going to get hit
with
their victim stuff, and they're going to point the finger at you.
Oh, 100%.
And it's like, now they're not going to take responsibility because it's easier to point the finger.
Right.
Right?
Right. And that's the issue in the first place of why we can't hang out.
Yeah, so what you're actually doing is like helping them.
Right.
Exactly. That's why they get triggered. Don't fight back. Just say you're welcome.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yeah. I just pissed you off. Write down why, and then get to work on it.
Write down why.
That's a good homework assignment.
Yeah.
For this week.
Yeah. Watch your triggers. Who's triggering you and why? Why are they triggering me right now?
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah. That's your homework for this week.
Are you going into fear mode? Are you getting angry? Did it just make you sad and cry? It's like, pay attention to your triggers.
Mm-hmm. That was awesome.
And take it back to the inner child. Where's the first time I felt this?
Right. And even if it doesn't come to you right away, it will.
Right.
It might not come right away. Because I know for me when I was doing a lot of
sometimes it takes weeks.
It takes,
it takes some time. All of a sudden it's like, oh wow, that's where that came from.
Right, a memory pops in, or a dream, or something.
And usually when you're not trying to think about it. And then, you get those aha moments where it's like, oh shit, that's what it was. Sally took my lollipop that day.
Sally took my lollipop.
And it's like...
Could it be something that simple?
Yes.
That
Sally took your lolly.
Really?
She robbed you.
How could it be something?
She robbed you of your fucking favorite lollipop.
Because now you're like, we have no trust issues.
She was my best friend. She ate my favorite watermelon pop.
Yeah.
Sally's like, what's
Yeah,
a
it could be
She's like,
something,
I'll remember.
Yeah.
you know, it could be something really deep, or it could be something that simple that it's like, oh yeah, I remember that. You know, how many people out there were told they weren't good enough from their parents? You're never going to be able to do that. You'll never be able to succeed in this. You'll never be able to. It's like over and over and over, a constant. So you grow up with this self-worth issue.
Yeah.
And fear lines, it's either going to drive you or it's going to set you in fear. Some people do things and they're like, yeah, well, I'm going to show you. And that drives them. But you're not being driven by your heart. You're being driven by the ego.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm going to accomplish that and I'm going to do it to prove what? Who the fuck are you proving it to? Because is your heart happy while you're doing it, sitting behind that desk? No. But I'm going to show them. And it's like, what are you showing them? That you're still not happy? That you didn't follow your own truth? Your own guidance? No, because you're too busy trying to prove a point to somebody else.
Mm-hmm. And also that other person probably just has their own...
They don't even care. They don't even remember what the hell they said to you.
Yeah.
You know, they're going about their own day because they're so negative that they can't get out of their own way.
Yeah.
So it's like, to them, it's just a constant, that's normal conversation for them. And then you have another person who's so afraid to try because they just think right away, you know, somebody's going to have this expectation of me. What if I fail at it? I'm not good enough. That's all solar plexus takes a hit. Your self-worth, your self-confidence.
That's what solar plexus is?
That's your solar plexus.
Wow. I feel like a lot of people probably have a wound there.
Oh, of course. Anybody out there who is a narcissist or, you know, a master manipulator, and you know, they feed off sucking the hell out of people. They go right for the solar plexus because it's like, I need to take all of your power to feed myself. And people go into fear and they give it to them. You know, a lot of people are victims of narcissistic abuse.
What is that?
It's being master manipulated over and over and over again. A narcissist can tell where somebody's weak spot is. So if you had a lot of trauma growing up, a narcissist can already see your energy. They can read your energy and be like, oh, she's kind of weak. That's my next victim. And they're going to go and they're going to, you know, they're going to love bomb you and pull you in and be like, oh, you know, they're going to wine and dine you and they're going to be your best friend and they're going to share stories with you and tell me all of yours. And when you tell them your weaknesses, boom, there they go.
And this
and
is also
they're going to completely manipulate you and use them in ways you don't even realize what they're doing because they're so good at it.
And what's the benefit to them?
They
ego.
feel that they're in control.
Oh, because they feel so out
They
of
can
control.
control you, they can manipulate you, they can dominate you. But once you realize what they're doing and you take your power back, and they start to lose control, well, yeah, they're going to freak the hell out and they're going to try whatever they can to pull you back in. But it's like, that's when strong boundaries need to come in. Remove yourself from them, no communication, have firm, strong boundaries. And it's like, hell no, you ain't controlling me. You know? Then you see they're losing power. They're going to keep trying to come back. But as long as you're like firm and you're strong, they're going to see that and they're going to move on to the next victim. They do it with their own children. They do it with, men. A lot of men are victims of it Because in the society we grow up in, it's like, you know, a man showing his weakness to a woman, no. You know, are you going to call the cops on her? Are you going to have her arrested? Are you going to take her away from her children?
Oh, yeah.
How are you going to be judged as a man? They're not seeing they would be in their full power by staying away from them, by removing themselves from the situation, by removing their children from the situation, by, you know, having this person completely removed out of their life. They're actually standing in their power.
Right.
Instead, they see it twisted because they have inner child wounds.
So the victim of the narcissistic abuse?
Yeah.
Oh.
Women more come out and say it because women are so used to being victims.
Right.
They play the victim
They play
and the
the
martyr
victim.
all the time.
100%. Yeah.
Right. So it's like they come out and they talk about it and people know about it. Men don't. They hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Because, again, solar
That's what
plexus, sacral issues, shame, guilt,
and that's what they were
manipulation,
taught, like the old
abandonment,
programming.
rejection.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me sad.
It is
Yeah.
sad. But it's true and it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like, you know, you go through Ascension, how are you going to keep growing up the ladder by allowing toxic people to suck you down? You have to work on yourself. You have to make it a program in your mind that I am worthy of so much more.
Yeah.
People pray all the time, but when God brings it your way, are you resisting it? Are you allowing it to come in?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's huge. Just
Yeah.
allowing it and listening.
Because they'll make, you know, spirit comes in and they're like, she wants to get out of this situation. All right, I'm going to hit hard so that they have to separate. And then it's like, you know, oh shit, that just happened. Nope, we got to cling back. Why? Because you get comfortable in the darkness.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's the only thing you know.
Yeah.
Because it's the only way you lived. Even though you're praying and begging for a way out.
Mm-hmm.
It causes PTSD in the brain. You know what I mean? Your mind gets so twisted and manipulated, and you think like you have to keep feeding it. You have to keep feeding. You going back for more, and it's like, how many times before things get to a point where maybe, you know, you're not going to wake up one day. If you're going to sit there and pray for help, you're not in control on how that comes in.
Right.
Just like with the physical body detoxing, you're not in control over how that toxic energy is leaving the body. Just allow it.
How do you know when it is help and whether to allow something?
Pay attention. Actually sit and be the observer. Shut up and pay attention. Because so many people are just like, oh my God, again, victim. This just happened to me and this just happened and this. And it's like, okay, well, you're seeing it as a tragedy, but it's probably the best damn thing that ever happened to you. So sit back and pay attention instead of reacting.
Yeah.
Listen.
Mm-hmm.
Sit and listen and just play out that whole situation. And then you're going to realize, damn, I've been praying for this for how long? And it just happened. Now I have to get my strength back because I know I have an army behind me that I can't even see, but it was powerful enough to just remove me from that. Mm-hmm. Give them the respect back. You know? It's like, thank you for helping me. Instead of saying, what the fuck, my whole life is like blown up. I can't deal with this. What do you mean? You just asked me to help you.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm helping you. I took you out of that situation. Now you're telling me to go fuck myself. Like, well, I don't know. Do you want my help? Do you not want my help? Because now I'm confused and I don't know what you want. So the next time you ask for help, I'm going to sit here and, you know, eat my Kit Kats because that's going to benefit me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, you know, people have to pay attention. Retrain your brain.
Yep.
Stop being the victim and be the observer.
Amen to that. That is your freaking homework for this week. Pay attention. And the other homework was what? To write down the triggers.
Yeah. Who's triggering you? What's triggering you? Try to figure out why. Figure out when the first time that happened and heal your inner child.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Feel free to reach out to us and tell us how writing down your triggers goes. Our email address is getrosepodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. We're excited.
Well, thank you so much, Stacey. Really
Thanks for
appreciate you
having
coming
me.
on. Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
All right.
Oh, and by the way, just as a little tidbit, so I think I spoke about it in my first episode, but Stacey and I own
Terra Nova
Healing and Wellness. And if you are interested in working with her a bit further with your ascension, with your healing, and anything else you may need, check us out. It's in the description below. Talk to you guys soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Namaste.
Namaste.
And get Rose.
Get Rose, guys. Bye.